Okay, so if you're trying to get your first 10 mil, this is the video for you. In this video, I'll be showing you many different money making methods that I use to get myself all the way to 10 mil and even higher than that. These methods are new and old because there's new money making methods that weren't present when I was trying to get my first 10 mil. Also, before this video starts, please comment, like, and subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be making more Skyblock content, especially when Dungeons comes out, and about new leaks and stuff like that. So, now on to the video. I'm starting with the two most boring money making methods. This being Zealot killing and Enderman farming. So, Zealot killing or Zealot farming is pretty known for, and it's one of the best money making methods in the game, but it's also one of the most boring. And so you just go and kill Zealots in the dragon's nest. I think almost everyone knows this, so I'm not going to put too much time on it. Then second, a lot of people know about it, so I'm not going to put too much time on it either, but it's basically Enderman grinding. So either you grind Enderman at the bottom of the end, or you get someone to pearl spam and you kill those Endermen with a radius axe or whatever sword you can to deal enough damage. So if you want to get pets, you want to be doing level 9,000, so 9,000 health Enderman. And so here I could do about 30k with full Ys, and with my radius axe I do 12k. So with a decent set I can one-shot Zealots and I can grind those Endermen at the bottom. And I recommend you do it with a radius axe because it actually makes you a bit of money. And if you hire someone, you will lose the money, but if you can get one of your coop members or friends to do it for free, then you'll actually make some decent money off of Scavenger. So make sure you have Scavenger 3. I have Scavenger 4, but at least have Scavenger 3 on the sword if you want to make decent money from the radius axe. Okay, so the next money making method is kind of new, but has always been in the game since its start. But not many people did it, so prices have dropped down a little bit, but they are still relatively high. So basically, as you can see, I'm in the jungle island. This is where I do foraging. You can also do dark oak, which is right over there, and it actually gives more foraging XP, but the money is much less. But because of prices of jungle wood is starting to go down, they are getting roughly close enough that the price gap is only about 20k. Still, I do jungle because it's almost as good and you can still get loads of profit from it. So what you will need is at least efficiency 5 axe, but I use an efficiency 5 tree capitator because when one hit it can take down a whole jungle tree. So that really helps when doing foraging. Also, you'll need foraging XP boost 3 pots and haste 3 pots. For the money, you just need the haste 3, but for the foraging, you're going to need the XP boost pots. I'm grinding foraging, and it's way better than Zealot grinding because you get the skill XP. With Zealot grinding, you get very minimal amounts of combat XP, but you get loads of foraging XP when doing trees, and you actually get a decent amount of money. And for this occasion, I did 1 hour of foraging, so with 1 hour pots, and I sold it and got 600k. So you can see in my bank that I have 600k, so it's roughly as good as getting one summoning eye, but prices have dropped a little. So before it was around 1 mil, but since prices have dropped, it's around 600k or as much as a summoning eye an hour. But it is more reliable because the prices do not change that much, at least won't go that much lower than it is right now. And even if you wanted more money, you can do another wood like spruce, which is going for upwards of 110k, when this is only going for around 80k. Okay, so another money making method that you can possibly try is godbook enchanting. So basically, people want enchants, but people don't want to actually go and make or get those enchants, so they buy books off the age for cheap and sometimes even more than they actually need to because they don't want to do it themselves. So if you see this sword, it has some decent enchants and some enchants that it probably shouldn't have, like Thunderlord. But these are enchants people would want. So what some people do is compile them into a book. So a book like this is what people would want to apply there on their sword. They don't have to do any work and they can just put it on the sword and get whatever they want easily. So they'll buy it off the age. Sometimes you can actually try to turn those anvil uses down by anvil resetting using a regular book that will not go onto whatever god book you're making for. So say if you're making a attacking, so like for a weapon god book, take a mining enchant and add it to that and it will reset it and it will go back to one anvil use. So that is a method to get those books down. And if you go and you check how much they go for, you just need to search up any enchant. So let's say sharpness and go, you can see a few god books. So this one's got level 6 enchants and not all of them are level 6. Well, yeah, most of them are level 6. This is like a true god book except Dragon Hunter 5 and it's going for around 30 mil. If you go down and try to find a more reasonable book, so one like this, you can see it goes for upwards of a mil. Ones with the regular enchant, so level 5s and level 3s, all at max for a god book for a averagely rich player. So a player who has around 10 mil and say wants to add it to their new AOTD or their new pooch sword, let's say. So this is what you'll be making. If you didn't know, you can actually craft many books in the game. So if you go to your collection or your recipe book actually and you click enchanting recipes, you can see that you actually have many recipes for many books in the game. And what I would say is to unlock as many as you can, or the ones you deem useful. So ones like Cubism, they're useful for bows but not too for anything else, or Silk Touch, those aren't useful. Stuff like Respiration isn't too useful, Fortune, that's not too useful. But without even trying to get all the recipes, it was pretty easy to get almost all of the enchanting recipes except 3, and those ones are mostly fishing recipes, so unless you're making a fishing god book, you won't need these. So after you've crafted all of it and made it into one book, just put it on the age and wait for the money to start rolling in. Okay, so now for my 2 last money making methods. These ones are slightly well known, but not too well known and can still generate tons of profit. So basically they're both about pets, but they're 2 different versions. So the first one most people know, but the second is less known and still decently profitable in the long run. So the first one that I'm telling you about is pet gambling. Most people know what it means and it's pretty self-explanatory from the title, but basically pet gambling is when you go to the bazaar and you buy an item. So let's say you want to get a wolf pet. You go to the spruce section and you buy the mats for it. So 106k a stack and you need 8 stacks, so that gives you 512 that you need. Boom, 883k. So you get that and then you buy a super enchanted egg and you craft it for about 1.2 mil. Then if you go on to the AH and look at that pet, so look at the wolf pet, you'll see that it goes for around a rough amount of 6ish mil, but that's a higher level pet. So I'd say about 5ish mil for the pet, or see a lower level 3.5 mil, and that's giving you a good amount of profit, almost double the amount you spent on it, because you spent 1.2 mil and you're selling it for around 3.5 to 4 mil. The only thing is you only have a 20% chance of actually getting it legendary, so it's a gamble. If you get the money, if you get it, you double your money. If you don't get it, you lose all of your money because the epics go for almost nothing now. So what is the other method? So there is one other method that has something to do with pets, which I think is really useful for basically free money. So this is called pet leveling up, or pretty self-explanatory. It's just leveling up pets and selling it at a high price, or also known as pet flipping. So basically it's going to a pet, so let's say the ocelot, and going to the pet and buying it off the age or crafting it, doesn't really matter, and looking for one. So see, level 1 ocelot, about 500k epics. You can snake some for less than 500k, even only around like 20ish, 500k, 200k, not too much, and you can snake one of these for cheap. Then if you look at highest bid, that there's one at level 100 going for 17 mil. This is huge profits because you spent less than a mil on that pet, and it's gonna go for so much more, almost hundreds of times more than you actually paid for it. And if you actually see, I put one up for one day, and it's a level 100 ocelot. And you might not know this, but ocelots are easy to level up. I, as a Foraging 41 player, and literally like a few blocks away from Foraging 42, can say that ocelot pets are easy to level up. One thing I'm telling you is never use an ocelot pet that is at level 100. Just never do it. It's such a waste of time. You're wasting the amount of XP that you could be giving to another pet to level it up, and at around level 95 you're already getting max XP, so do another pet instead. I made that mistake and I could be making so much more money now. Now you can see that in my pets menu I've been running a legendary ocelot that is at level 70. This can be sold for much more, but it is harder to level up, and I'm gonna keep this one because the dodge chance, in addition to a bunch of other potions, can give you a 100% dodge chance, and then you can't actually get hit. But that is really the only reason to keep it. Otherwise I'd probably sell it, and it goes for roughly 40 to 50 mil. More on the 40 mil end, but still that's a lot of money. So what pets do you think poor or not as rich players should go for? So if you're going for 10 mil, I'd say you would want about a 1 mil pet or a little less, because you don't want to waste too much money. One thing I would say is try flipping pets from the exotic person, so like the pet shop. So when the pet shop comes out, whenever it is next time, so the traveling zoo, we can see that it is tomorrow. So when that traveling zoo comes out, come see what they have and try to flip it. What I've noticed is the best flips are tiger. So if you go and search up some tiger pets, you can see that this one at level 81 is going over 50 mil, but that's legendary, so you'll probably go for something like a green tiger, an uncommon tiger pet, and you can flip this for a bit of profit. It is pretty cheap, and you can just buy it, level it up a few levels, and flip it for profit. I recommend, if you're at a bit more money, to go for either blues or epics. Mostly epics, because they tend to do actually decent flips. If you look at the highest bid, other than legendaries, epics and blues actually flip for a decent amount. Like this epic is level 1 and is flipping for a bit more than it actually costs to make, just because you can't get it right now and someone's probably really wanting it right now. Also blues, this one is just a high level blue that was probably brought up from someone grinding it, so that gets you profit too. And here another epic one, it's higher level but there's a lot of time left on it, so it's probably going to go up in price. And legendary and blue, and you can see what I mean. There's also many other pets that you can do, but that pet is roughly what I'd say is a pretty good starting point for poorer players. But if you want to test your luck, try doing the wolf pet. The wolf pet is one of the most known pets for money, and it will generate you the most if you get a good luck. So if you get good luck, you'll probably make a lot of money on that, but other than that, that's what pet you should. Okay, so that's the video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for more Skyblock content that I'll probably be uploading, hopefully when Dungeons comes out, if it even does. But that's basically it, and if you guys have any other ideas on how to make monies or any other methods that you might have used to make a decent amount of profit, please put them in the comments, and if I find a good amount of them, I might actually make a part 2 to this video, compiling those and maybe some few others that I actually find out myself, so we can tell people how to get their first 50 mil, because when you want items like the mosquito bow, it gets a little pricey.